Hello again, everyone, and welcome to our next Community Resiliency Model training. Last time we learned about resourcing, or recalling external, internal, and imagined resources to build a sense of internal strength and resiliency. Today we will be discussing the next wellness skill that can be used when we are bumped out of our zone. This skill is called gesturing. Gesturing, as defined by Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is any movement of the body or limbs that expresses or emphasizes an idea, sentiment, or attitude. Gestures are usually spontaneous and not conscious. We don't realize we're making them. It's a spontaneous movement of the body or limbs to express an emotion, idea, sentiment, or attitude. They have special meaning to the words that accompany them. For example, holding your hand to your heart when you see something heartwarming, or even saying, "Whew," while shaking out your hands, arms, and legs. This shows that you are brushing something unpleasant off. In the Community Resiliency Model, we emphasize 5 different types of gestures: self-calming, universal, protective, releasing, and joyful. The first gesture is self-calming. Self-calming gestures are movements that bring a sense of comfort and safety. Some examples of self-calming gestures might be a hand over the heart, or rubbing the back of your arms, or maybe rubbing your temples. The next gesture is universal. This type of gesture represents wholeness, spiritual belief, or deep personal meaning. One example of a universal gesture might be holding your hands together in a praying pose. Another one of the Community Resiliency Model gestures is protective. This type of gesture is used to keep us from harm. One example of this type of gesture might be holding a hand out with the palm forward to say stop. The next gesture is called releasing. This type of gesture is experienced as sensation leaving the body and helping to restore balance. An example of this might be shaking your hands after dealing with something unpleasant. The final gesture is joyful. A joyful gesture, as you might guess, is any gesture that represents happiness. An example of a joyful gesture might be raising your hands in the air to represent excitement or satisfaction. Now I invite you to practice gesturing along with me, remembering to track the sensations that you experience in your body. As with all 6 of the wellness skills, you can use gesturing whenever you're feeling stressed, disconnected, and bumped out of your resilient zone. Now, one of the wonderful things about the Community Resiliency Model is that it can be practiced by anyone at any time and anywhere. To demonstrate this, all I need is for you to find a seat somewhere, a chair, the sofa, or floor, and we can begin. Now, as I talk, begin to focus on your breath. And as you breathe, I want you to pay attention to the sensations within your body. Let's do a scan from head to toe. What do you notice? What parts of your body need attention? What parts feel pleasant or neutral? Now, take 3 seconds to think about a self-soothing gesture. Count 1, 2, 3, and then make that gesture. As you make your self-soothing gesture, notice what happens on the inside. What sensations do you notice in your body? Take 3 seconds to think about a gesture of self-confidence. Count 1, 2, 3, and then make that gesture. As you make your gesture of self-confidence, notice what happens on the inside. What sensations do you notice in your body? Take 3 seconds to think about a gesture of joy. Count 1, 2, 3, and then make that gesture. As you make your gesture of joy, notice what happens on the inside. What sensations do you notice in your body? Let's take time to scan our body again as we wrap up this exercise. What do you notice? What parts of your body need your attention? What parts feel pleasant or neutral? Hopefully, you notice more pleasant or neutral sensations after practicing self-soothing and joyful gestures. Feel free to use any of these gestures the next time you're tracking and notice you are bumped into your high or low zone. See if it brings you any pleasant sensations as you shift back into your zone of well-being. Thank you for taking the time to practice gesturing with me. I invite you to continue to practice the wellness skills of tracking the sensations you feel and gesturing when you're outside of your resilient zone. If you enjoyed this video or want to learn more, I invite you to visit the Trauma Resource Institute at www.traumaresourceinstitute.com or download the iChill app available on Google Play and the iOS App Store.